Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I have a fusion card challenge today with a special product because my friend made it. And if you don't know the fusion card challenge, you have a sketch, you have a inspirational photo, you could use one or the other, or you can fuse it together, fusion card challenge, and use both. So I'm going to roughly use the sketch, but I'm going to go a little bit more with the color combination. This stencil, let's talk about this stencil. As I said, a special friend of mine made this stencil. She's branched out into doing some stencils. She has quite a few stencils. She has like a funky Christmas tree, which actually has 3 trees in it. She's got oak leaf stencil. She's got a maple leaf, small and large stencil, which also has the mask. Same with the oak leaf. There is some torn rectangles and terrain stencils, another leaf stencil, retro background stencil. This one that I'm using here today is called the Bloom, not that Bloom, but Bloom stencil. And you can see why for obvious reasons. The Fusion Card Challenge had these, I can't think of the word of it. I really can't think of the word for it. It had a lot of circles. I don't know, there's a word for that. And someone down below is going to tell me for sure. And I just felt like this with the circles worked in really, really well. So I'm alternating between the 3 colors. The colors that we have are, we've got mustard seed, hickory smoke, uncharted marinade. Now this is the first time I've actually used uncharted marinade. How bad is that? But it's really, really cool. So I will leave a link down below over to the shop where you can get these stencils. This is the first time she's sort of like selling these stencils. The Little Bits in Keysborough, Melbourne, you have to contact them and we can do a little bit of a order, but they are made by a person, a one-man band, so you may need to give it a little bit of time just to make sure that we can get them, but they're awesome. So check out the link down below. I'm also using the nesting rectangles dies here. Now this is going to give me a chance to talk, and I've just trimmed it down a little bit. Next thing I'm going to do, this is where the sketch sort of comes into it. Again, I leave another link down to my blog. You'll be able to see the sketch. You'll be able to see the inspirational photo. So you can see in this sketch over on my blog that it's sort of framed. And then it has 2 circles. Those 2 circles, I'm not dealing so much with it. Not so much. So I'm just putting down my tape and then just making sure that they are all nice and straight, and we're going to die cut that out. So the Fusion Card Challenge, as I said, is linked down below. You can use one or the other. Post your card over on the website and I would love to see what you do. Now I haven't really, as I said, I didn't really cut all this die cutting out sort of thing because we just went with the flow, and I figured I'm just going to talk over the top of it because I always run out of time. Maybe because I just plain talk too much. But so we've got just a couple of little things I just need to trim off. For some reason, it doesn't normally have that problem, but for some reason it decided to be a little bit of a wrap bag, so we're just going to tidy those up a little bit. This frame, this panel in general, we're going to layer it up quite a fair bit. The first frame that we've got right here, I'm using double foam tape and leftover little bits of foam, and so it is basically too high. as in 2 layers high, not too high as in I don't like it's too high. But this card, now if you've been here on my channel for a while, you've seen me do this before where I totally just get carried away and then go back in later on and go, you did not stamp your sentiment. So this card, we're going to have that problem again because I get too carried away and then I decide that I've stuffed something up. So I'm just sort of trimming off I'm just taking off all the backing sheets of this. I thought about raising this up being like a eclipse, but it was really, really fine. So I just thought, you know what, that's just not going to happen. So we're going to glue that in flat. I'm using a wet glue so I have a little bit of wiggle room. And I just need to figure out which way I've got to go. There we go. And so that gives me a little bit of time to make sure all my images are all lined up. And I'm just using my fingernails just to flatten that down a little bit. The next panel that we've got, the center panel, is just going to be 1 flat. So we've got 3 layers of height in this panel. And this is where I hadn't even thought about stamping my image because I'm like, you're a twit. Afterwards, you can actually see my brain working in this very, very shortly. So at this point, I'm starting to think, what have you done? But we're going to fix it. I'm going to show you a way that I'm going to fix this. I need to figure out my sentiments, and I'm going to use this old to new. It's called Birthday Greetings. And I just really liked just the sizing of this sentiment. So we're going to stamp these down, cross all our fingers and our toes, but it doesn't work. There is a gap and there's nothing there, but there is actually something can fix to do it. So wait for it. I'm just trying to get my thing. I've got an idea. So what I'm going to do is cut out some strips. Now I'm not measuring these at all. I do roughly know that I have a gap that is wider than 1 centimeter. I can't tell you that in inches, but it's wider than 1 centimeter for my Aussie friends. I've just cut a little piece just to see if it's going to fit, making sure it's wide enough. And now, see that's my niece's hand. She's like, I said, I made a mistake. And she's like, where? Right there? And I'm like, yep. So that's my niece. I'm going to glue all those panels down. Now, these are in scrap cardstock. I'm not really too fussed about this. This was how I was going to fix it, and I could always use that for something else later on down the track. So we're going to push that up inside and very much pray and cross our fingers. This is where we need a drum roll. I was a little bit excited, can you tell? That it actually worked. The tricky part is a little bit of trying to get this little baby out, and it kept on popping back up into it. So I was a little bit excited. The next thing we're going to do is put some little clear drops on, because this is going to sort of form our circle. So I've got the circle for, so to speak, in air quotes, for my happy birthday. And I'm going to put a little bit of just my little bling up the top, roughly where another circle would be, but of course it's not a circle. But that's what I thought might be cool. And I really, really like how this card turned out in the end. I also didn't, we're going to stick those down with a little bit multi-matte medium, which is my go-to. It's what I use all the time for these sort of things. On camera, my happy doesn't stand out as much. Now, in person, it was a lot better. And you can see it a little bit better there. What I'm going to do is get a Prismacolor pencil. This is just a straight black. It's PC 935, and I'm just going to color that in. Which is still going to be, because it's not black, it's not as dark as my actual ink. It's just going to bring that to the forefront that little bit more. And that's going to be pretty much my card. So I hope you're well. I hope you liked my card. As I said, I will leave a link down below to the shop and Fusion Card Challenge. Take care, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.